You see, my gorgeous Leonis, it is the actual 27th of September 2020. The 27th of September 2020 is going to bring you a rather interesting day for so many different reasons. I know that you're going to feel a little bit strange. I know that you're going to feel a little bit bizarre. I know that you're going to feel quite unusual, but these are all really good signs at the same time, because it's just going to try to let you know as well, these feelings, these emotions, this energy, it's also at the same time going to be super beneficial for you, because purely it is going to be, when it comes to the actual power of intention and the power of direction and the power of focus, it's going to be absolutely mind-blowing and remarkable, in particular when it comes to the 27th of September until the end of that month. Okay, so you've got like a few days like kind of to play with, you know, from the 27th of September, but most certainly it is to do with an absolutely remarkable moment in time when it comes to the actual and annoying problem slowly coming to an end. And yes, it is to do with the Wheel of Fortune. It is to do with you looking at a picture from a completely different angle, but most certainly making sure that you have to understand that you are going to be tested, and at the same time from the 27th until the end of September you're going to be tested, and at the same time you have to remember it's more important than anything to remember to look at the bigger picture. This picture is going to be so important, because that in itself is also automatically going to start the process. Not only something so annoying is going to come to an end. If you think about it now, you wouldn't be able to like kind of pinpoint to what this is completely, but it's to do with maybe like the wrong sense of direction, the false sense of direction that you had, that you've been doing for a while, you've been doing for a really long time, but at the same time your subconscious mind, your spirit guides, your guardian angels were giving you lots of little signs lately in order to try to redirect you, but most importantly in order to try to make you to understand that you are about to reach a really important enlightenment this month, and it's only going to happen within the last few days in September, but it's going to be so crucial, it's going to be so significant, and you are going to make an absolutely mind-blowing decision at the same time. You know, May 2021 and June 2021 are going to be directly connected to everything that's been going on in September, which means that you're going to start such an important process, which means that you're going to start such an important change, but it's going to require from you to slowly start changing your life bit by bit, because it's going to lead towards a huge, massive, enormous change. But it's to do with what you have always wanted to do. It's to do with the changes you always wanted to make, but you were always prevented. You were prevented because of the uncertainty. And when we feel uncertainty, it's also quite a funny energy to deal with, because at the same time it's blocking you, it's preventing you to move on, because it's like enhancing a certain fear within us, which on another hand blocks us from moving on with our lives. From the bottom line, the bottom line here is you're gonna make a really massive, huge step. You're gonna make a really massive, huge jump this September, my gorgeous Leonis, and this is why I'm trying to say how important this is going to be. You know, it is to do with your wheel of fortune, and wheel of fortune, it's to do with who you are. It's to do with like very much so, very deeply with who you are, but also with being able to understand things from a slightly different angle, from a slightly different level. This is all going to be part of this role at the same time. It is to do with your destiny, it's to do with your fortune, but but also you are most certainly going to hear such an important news where you're going to find out an important outcome when it comes to your personal advancement, and that in itself it's also going to be playing an important role when it comes to you feeling like a control over a situation like you didn't feel in a long time. It's about your own personal advancement, but then at the same time it's to do with culmination and conclusion, which is just going to be leading towards you making a huge, massive, enormous decision. It is not something that is going to come out of the blue. It is not something that is going to like manifest itself like just then and there. No, baby, no. It's been about for a long time. It's part of you. It's part of who you are, but it's also all about the timing and making the right decision, facing it and just literally going for it. And this is why at the end of September, on the 27th of September onwards, this is why this time it's going to be so important, because you're also going to feel like, ooh la la, rejuvenated. You're going to feel reawakened, you know, you're going to feel enlightened, you know, in so many different ways. And also you will know and you will become aware of the fact that you're approaching the end of a very long problem, you know. It's going to be, you know, there is an unexpected event that is going to take place. But then again, at the same time, this is so important because it is just going to surprise you, but it's going to get your mind going, you know, it's going to get your mind thinking, and you will know, you will be aware of the fact that you can most certainly expect a rather powerful change. Your commitments are going to be tested, so you just have to remember that you need to make sure that you stay assertive and stay committed to the tasks set at hand, because a lot is going to be happening, and then, you know, your way of thinking is going to be affected a little bit, and this is normal. This is natural, because the balance is going to start changing slowly, and it's going to be rather intense, you know, from September right until the end of that year. It's all going to be connected, and now, because we are getting closer to the end of the year, now the more intense things are going to be, because this is what it's meant to happen to you, and most certainly it's going to take you on the whole next stage, on the whole next level, my gorgeous Leonis. You know, also on another hand, it's very important to say you're almost going to have like this sacred power within you, okay? So this is not only for the actual, only the 27th until the end of that month, but from the 27th of September until the end of that month, yes, the energy is going to be super powerful, super significant and super intense, but that at the same time, that intense feeling, it's also the feeling of your own power, it's also the feeling of your own energy, it's also the feeling of your own sincerity, in particular when it comes to you focusing on things, and when it comes to all these new perspectives that are going to come through and come forward. But throughout the actual month, just remember, the land is going to be rather fertile, you know, when it comes to your own spirituality. So it's important to say that you also need to remember to meditate and contemplate. Meditate and contemplate. Not necessarily to lie down and meditate, you know, relax this part of body, this part of body, this part of body. No, baby, no. If you want to do it like that, you do it like this. If you want to sit next to the water, sit next to the water and do it like that. If you want to just sit down, close your eyes and just keep on asking a question, and you can do this throughout September, and something wonderful is going to happen. Something wonderful is going to come through. Something wonderful is going to come forward when it comes to you getting an important answer to your question. So take this the whole month. I repeat, not only for the last few days of September, but throughout the whole month. Every time when you close your eyes and every time when you ask the certain question, you are going to be enlightened from a completely different angle. You know, you're going to be enlightened, you know, in so many different ways, and the answer is going to come through your own meditation and contemplation. This is very important. You do not need anyone, because your power of your own intention is going to be very strong, and it's going to reflect on you in this particular way. But in particular, when it comes to your own third psychic eye, and in particular when it comes to your own intuition, there will be a very strong connection. So that's why it's important just to close your eyes and ask a certain question, and it's going to come to you. It's going to surprise you, but it's going to be brilliant, because it's most certainly going to bring you the answer to your problem, but also at the same time something really interesting. It's going to be attached to it as an option, as the new beginning, as the new start, as a new plan, as a wish. It's going to be very interesting but very powerful time. So it's important to remember to just focus on what you want to do, and you will see other things are just basically going to follow. Okay, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Leonies, and it's for September 2020. So it's for you, my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Leonies, and it's for September 2020. Your number is number 101. Now, when I say your number is 101, of course I'm talking about the numerology, and I'm talking about the number which is covering beautifully the whole month of September. This is a very powerful number. It's a very strong number. It means that you are reaching an important completion when it comes to your life, and an important realization. It's also going to take place, something that you didn't realize before, but it's most certainly going to lead you towards making a very powerful decision, which is going to need from you to make lots of relevant changes along the line. But this is only going to be the beginning. Also, number 101, it's not only about an important, remarkable, mind-blowing completion, but it's to do with the success, and it's also to do with having the relevant balance, control over a situation in order for things to see for what they are. Very important confirmation. It's going to come through when it comes to you needing to make, you wanting to make, you trying to make the certain change. So 101, that number one, it's also bringing you remarkable realization about your own ability, and also remarkable realization about the confirmation, what you should do, but also an important new beginning. Okay, bright prospects are going to bring you the realization about unlimited possibilities, and the fact, the sign, an important sign that you're on the right track, that you are on the right journey. And this is going to be mind-blowing as well. It is going to bring you an element of surprise, but the surprise is most certainly going to be really good because it's to do with the timing. You will have an important option, an opportunity to make things like much quicker, to make things happen much faster, and that's something to really look forward to, because it's all about the actual control over a situation that you are going to get and gain. And that is going to bring you strength, that is going to bring you an important courage, that is going to bring you a wonderful energy and determination again. And this is going to reflect on your confidence so beautifully, and at the same time, you're going to become aware of the fact that you are going to be having an important accomplishment if you go down that road. If you're going down that route. So when you wonder, like, should I do this or not, you're also at the same time you need to know that you're going to have an important realization, an important sign, an important confirmation that you should just go down that road. And this is going to be followed by you wondering and maybe still being a little bit uncertain. So most certainly you will know when to make these changes. Number 101 in numerology, numerology also means, it's important, beautiful perfection that you're going to feel this month. In particular, when it comes to recognition, it's about the greatest honor that you are going to feel, but at the same time it's about the fulfillment, and it's to do with your own capability. You're gonna really find yourself again. I'm not saying that you've lost yourself or anything like that, but these emotions are gonna be very strong and powerful, and that's exactly how you're gonna feel. Like you're gonna start feeling like you're gonna find yourself again. It's important because it's to do with like a very significant reward that you are going to have, but then again, it's a reward from hard work, success, and admiration from others is going to be just as important. You know what I like? Bam, bam, bam. It's the ultimate change that you're gonna feel, that you will want to make, that you will want to do, that you will want to start. But this time, there is not going to be nothing to slow you down or nothing to prevent you from doing so. This time you're just going to have really beautiful wings of a really powerful angels, on yourself, which is just going to help you to fly throughout, this, negativities that you might have had before that were preventing you to kind of move on and get to the points where you would want to get. So this will require really changes. On another hand, from somebody very powerful in your life, somebody very significant, somebody very sympathetic, somebody who you really think the world of them, is going to have an important advice for you as well. An interesting advice from somebody very, very nice in your life, and somebody who you really appreciate. And that particular advice that you are going to have, it's also going to confirm things to you, in particular when it comes to the certain concentration, application, study, and reflection. When it comes to the respect for the certain knowledge, this is going to be confirmed to you through this interesting advice that you are going to have. On another hand, this is why things are going to start changing for you like this, my gorgeous Leonis, because it's about the transformation. It's about clearing away the old in order to make a place for the new. It's going to require from you to make certain alterations and certain adjustments in your life. The more alterations you make and the more adjustments you make, the more outcome, the more rewards you're actually going to have. And it's not only about September, but it's even right now until the end of that particular year. This is how things are going to work for you. Very, very important time. So if you do kind of like want to change things around you, this is going to have a really beneficial effect and impact on you. Maybe in your immediate environment, change things a little bit, replace things a little bit. It's the energy of the new moon, similar energy to the actual new moon, It's like you get rid of the old in order to make a space for the new. This is exactly what you should be doing throughout this month, because this is going to reflect on you so beautifully, and this energy is going to rejuvenate you in so many different ways, because you are going through transformation, and that's how you go along this energy, and that's how you make everything better and quicker and more positive and optimistic for you as well. On another hand, you are most certainly going to really benefit from a very good news. The good news that you are going to have, my gorgeous Leonis, this month is going to be about a certain delay that caused you a fear, and in particular over the last 6 months there was a certain delay that you had in your life that caused you a certain fear, because not enough was happening around it in order for you to understand which way to go, how to look at the situation and how to feel the situation. So there is going to be a really good news that you are going to get here, and it's connected to delays and the fear, at the same time, apprehension and things like that, negative feelings, and this is going to be very good news, and most certainly very beneficial when it comes to the actual financial gain. You're going to find yourself on an advanced stage. It's something that you expected, something that you were waiting for, and it's to do with your desires. And this is why this is all connected to 101 number in numerology, because it's to do with your desires, but it's also to do with that wheel of fortune that I said at the same time, because pretty much so September is superb when it comes to you, my gorgeous Leonis, when it comes to September being really relevant to you, in particular when it comes to your own destiny and fate and fortune at the same time. It's to do with the actual promotion as well, but at the same time, even more important to say, if you are looking for promotion, if you are looking for work, if you want to expand yourself in any way, September is going to be remarkable. Not only you will have a promotion, but also if you decide to project that energy in this particular way, you're going to be rather victorious indeed. On another hand, there is an important recognition of abilities that you are going to have, and certain idea is going to come through and forward. And if any certain ability, you will recognize a particular ability, my God, don't ignore it or anything like that, because it's going to come from somewhere else. It's going to come from somewhere different. So it's very important for you to maybe write it down, or something just comes to you and just seem like really ridiculous or anything like that. No, baby, no. No, baby, no. It is not ridiculous or anything like that. It is a very important sign that you are going to have something that you should be paying attention attention to. So when certain ability is highlighted to you and it just comes to you, just remember that this is from your guardian angels, this is from your spirit guide. They're trying to direct you, because there is going to be a slight little direction but also redirection at the same time, but trying to make you understand to go towards it, and it's going to make you feel like a little bit uncertain, a little bit undecisive, but most certainly it's going to be the right thing to do. So you should be paying attention to it, because it's a lot about something that is going to be crucial in your life later on, and it's going to bring you a mind-blowing devotion. Okay, very, very important to say. On another hand, my gorgeous Leonis, what else I was going to say, when it comes to your health, please just make sure that you understand. It is also very important for you to take care of your immune system. As I said before, organic acerola cherry powder, 1 teaspoon in a glass of water, the first thing in the morning, 1 little teaspoon, drink it. Organic acerola cherry powder is completely rich in vitamin C. It's rich in other vitamins as well, but it's got a whopping amount of vitamin C per serving, and it's remarkable because it's natural, it's without any rubbish, it's without any GMO and any nonsense like that. It's just a natural form of vitamin C. If you can take a glass of water, teaspoon every single morning, and also if you can actually take a natural zinc and a natural vitamin D. It's what I said before and I'm going to say it again. So it's vitamin C, organic acerola cherry powder, vitamin D, and the zinc as well, and this is going to boost your immune system really beautifully. On another hand, what else I was going to say, that you're gonna also need to kind of take care of your bones. So vitamin D you have already for your bones, and you could actually do with a calcium and magnesium as well. The combination of a calcium magnesium is going to be wonderful for your bones at the same time. But also, what else I was going to say, that a little bit of stress that I'm seeing that you're gonna have at the same time, it's important to take the actual natural dose of B vitamins as well, which is going to help you with your stress levels. At the same time, it's going to help you with your digestion, because your stomach is going to be a little bit sensitive. So try to avoid at the same time like a sugar, try to avoid at the same time alcohol. Just try to drink as much water as you can, and water is going to be brilliant to flush out the toxins out of the system. Very, very, very important. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor, you just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. So now, my gorgeous Leonis, I was just going to say that this is going to be more than important this month to actually try to get something like a black onyx. Black onyx is going to be very beneficial for you throughout September and October, because a lot is going to be happening. You're going to be facing certain changes that are going to confuse you a little bit and make you a little bit doubtful. But why is black onyx really important? Because it's going to be it's a great decision helper. When you make decision, decision maker or decision helper, it's great, because it helps you with the balance. So you protect yourself against negative energies, but on another hand, it helps you to express yourself. It helps you to explain yourself. It helps you with the communication, and communication is going to be the key, and you will see exactly what I mean. But at the same time, it's fantastic when it comes to making important decisions where a lot is happening around you at the same time. This beauty comes with a sterling silver setting and a sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. And by buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well. So it comes with a gorgeous sterling silver chain. Okay, so now, my gorgeous Leonis, I'm just going to see the very first important date. It's going to be on the 4th of September. The 4th of September, it's going to be like, ooh la la, the moment of the moments when it comes to a bit of a hermit moment. And the hermit moment, it's really beautiful, it's powerful, and it's spiritual, and it's going to help you to express yourself, to understand yourself, because you will be really self-illuminated. So don't be surprised if on the 4th and the 5th of September you feel like a little bit spaced out. Feeling a little bit spaced out like this is actually great, because at the same time, just remember that it's about the sacred knowledge, and you're part of like all sorts of like a different dimensions, which is just going to enhance your power, enhance your strength, and then you open your eyes towards the possibilities that you wouldn't normally notice. But what is this hermit moment going to bring you? Something that is slowly, that you are kind of in self-denial about, but it's important for you to understand. It's to do with your emotions, it's to do with your life, it's to do with your direction, it's to do with what you were kind of like a maybe saying to yourself, maybe it's not, maybe it is. So it's very important to understand that this particular emotion, it's going to come to the surface, what you are kind of in self-denial about. This is important because at the same time, you know, there will be a wonderful motivation that you're almost immediately going to feel. A wonderful and very important motivation, which is on another hand going to help you to make a quite significant decision. It's just slowly going to start redirecting you and make you think in a certain way. And that is going to be the way out of this situation, because it's all about the balanced force and harmony and firmness that you are going to have. But then again, you know, you will need to remember that the tact is necessary to maintain pace. The tact is necessary to maintain pace. So you don't rush into anything, one thing at a time, you know, just don't rush into anything, just take your time. It's all about making your mind to understand and setting yourself at the beginning of a very specific, very powerful and very strong spiritual journey. You will know that this is gonna need from you to understand that you are going to start facing a change, but then at the same time it's to do with the reversals of your life, in particular when it comes to things that you're bored about, negative about, things that are making you feel unhappy. And you will know, ooh la la, it's to do with the slowly certain things around you coming to an end when it comes to the actual spiritual journey. So it's going to require from you to realize this and also make a certain abandonment. You know, it's to do with the suspension, it's to do with a certain sacrifice that you will need to make, but most certainly it's about a readjustment, which is going to lead towards the regeneration and rebirth at the same time. Just remember, you're a little butterfly, and this is your gorgeous transformation that you are going to do. This is about the gorgeous transformation that is actually going to take place. The second important date, my gorgeous Leonis, and I would highly suggest you to get also like a dry sage, very important at a time when you're so spiritual. You've got a Wheel of Fortune, you've got a bit of hermit time. It's like, ooh la la, my lord, you've got a lot happening. So you will be projecting a lot, but then at the same time you'll be very powerful, but also you are easily pick up other vibrations and energy. Is the way things work sometimes. And dry sage I highly recommend you to get, so you can smudge your home at least once in September and once in October, and at the same time you just smudge yourself as well, and that way you just protect yourself and you cleanse yourself and your home from the negative energies. This sage stick is huge, it will last you for ages, and if you would like to buy this, you can get it in my store, and the link is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well. I have to say this. The second important date is the 17th of September. This is something to watch for, because it's about the new plan and the new wish that you are going to have, something that you attempted previously, were very intensely thinking about. So now you're going to have another opportunity, and you're going to do so great, because the confidence level is going to be perfect, and it's going to be connected to uncertain efforts, but because your confidence is going to be on such a high levels, you're going to do so well. And this is where the energy come through and shows you and prove to you how powerful the energy actually can be. It's an important time when it comes to your growth, hard work, and an absolutely mind-blowing progress that you are going to have on this day. It's brilliant, and it's to do with the money, it's to do with reorganization. You will know that you're going to need to reorganize, think about, change things, bring things in, take things out. It's going to need changes. You will see what I mean when you find yourself on this path, but it's to do with the results of efforts are nearly due, and most importantly also an important dealing, successful dealing you're going to have on this day, okay? And that gives you another food for thoughts, you know, another thing to think about. If you've got successful dealing like this, then that means that you are not only going to have it, but if you are looking to do something important, like when it comes to the dealings and things like that, negotiations, 17th of September, it's going to be remarkable to do it on this particular day. On another hand, just remember, this is an important safety that you are going to have, and also quite significant family matters is going to take place, and it's going to need a little bit of your energy. It's going to need a little bit of your input, you see. And it's just like basically there is going to be a little bit of concern that you are going to have about something, you know, here. And also it's concern about the problem, you know, something else is going to come back. It's to do with a certain problem, and it's also something that you were blaming yourself, and it's just making you feel really uncertain about your life, and this is going to bring you a little bit of unhappiness and maybe a little bit of sadness. But then again, at the same time, it's brilliant, because the answer to this, you've got the answer to this. It's all about where you are now. You need to make sure that you take this on another level. If something makes you feel unhappy or uncertain, like with your own progress, the answer to this, my babies, is to not to like, oh my God, no baby, no. What you need to do is just, you need to take wherever you are, whatever you do on the next level, whatever you do, whether you're college, university, whether you're working, whether you're not working, whether you're retired, whether you're not retired, wherever you are, whatever you do in your life at this moment in time, you just need to take it on another stage. Even if you read one sentence extra and you learn about it, it's important. My God, it's important, like lighting the candle. It's to do with the passion within you at the same time. So this is why it's like putting a little bit of water on, you know, on a flower. You know it's going to grow. You see, this is why this is so important. The third important date, my gorgeous Leonis, it's going to be on the 26th of September. 26th of September, it's like, ooh la la, you're gonna feel like pam, ba-da-da-da-dum, pam, pam, it's a justice, victory, an important moment. You know, it's going to bring you such a strong feeling of a balance. It's going to bring you an important harmony, an absolutely mind-blowing reward at the same time. You know, it is about self-satisfaction, but also the advice that you are going to have. But you're not going to be said this directly. You're just going to find yourself in a certain place, in a certain environment, and there is an important advice that you are going to gain, that you are going to get, and this is going to be absolutely crucial, because it's going to help you to make a decision what to cut out of your life and what direction to go. It's part of the very big and very important picture at the same time. Also, what else I was going to say, an important relationship is going to come through forward, but it's to do with a friend, it's to do with a person who is meant to be in your life, it's to do with a person who is about to return into your life. But it's no, baby, no. I'm not talking about the love. I'm not talking about love or relationships or anything like that. I'm talking about like an important friend who is meant to be in your life. Maybe they drifted away a little bit. Maybe you didn't kind of understand each other lately. However, something very important is going to take place, like some kind of renewal. But this is significant so much, because that person is going to give you an idea in order to kind of understand a certain situation around you, and this is going to surprise you, but most certainly it's going to give you food for thoughts, and you will know how to react in the problem that is going to arise later on. It's going to help you quite a lot. On another hand, you know, an important improvement when it comes to your development, when it comes to your promotion as well, when it comes to the outcome of the past effort, and this is going to be directly responsible for your own rebirth. And the time when you had like a little bit of emotional confusion, you know, this is going to be brilliant, because it's going to be way out of it. You know, it's going to help you quite a lot. Very interesting opportunity you're going to start realizing over here, and this is only going to be the beginning indeed. One more thing I was going to suggest to you, my gorgeous Leon, is look at this gorgeous labradorite natural crystal. And also, because you will be going through lots of changes, you know, you will be dreaming a lot, you will be thinking a lot, you will be focusing a lot. Even when you go into the state of meditation, there is a lot going to be on your mind, but a lot is going to be happening at the same time. And what labradorite does, it just helps you like to kind of like come to terms with certain things, and that on another hand helps with the balance, so you are able to distinguish important things when it comes to your meditation, when it comes to your sleeping, when it comes to your grounding. It's absolutely wonderful, and it's very great like for the cleansing around you and keep you very spiritual, which is going to be quite important for September. and October. I would get this and I would keep this in the actual where you are spending the most of the time or next to your bed. If you would like to get this beautiful labradorite crystal, the link is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, my gorgeous Leonis, you're also supporting my channel as well. Okay, so now my gorgeous Leonis, the very first part of September, it's going to bring you an amazing determination, and you're still going to find yourself like you're going to surprise yourself where this determination is coming from. But then again, an important answer is going to come through that particular hermit moment that I said to you before. You just need to remember, keep on being assertive and stay committed to the tasks at hand. Somebody's going to try to wind you up a little bit, a bit of a conflict, you know, with somebody. But then again, please, I'm telling you this, just rise above it. You know, it's important not to go lower. I don't mean to be a dark Lala here, but it's just so important to actually not kind of bite for it, and just like kind of, this is important part of your progress and your karma. So if somebody tries to make to have a little conflict with you, you know, just remember to rise above it, because this is all about your enlightenment and vitality. On another hand, you know, it's just very important moment when it comes to your professional life. It's actually going to take place in the beginning of September towards the mid-September. It's all about a big change when it comes to your professional life. Not completely necessarily changing. Maybe you will change everything you do, but maybe you will want to bring lots of things in. Maybe you will realize things that you didn't realize before. But this professional life and what you do in order to keep you going, you know, even if you're retired, it doesn't matter. This is the essence of what you think about on daily basis, what your plans are. You know, there is a very big change going to start happening, but this is good, this is big, and it's brilliant, and it's to do with an enlightening, I said before. Also, you know, the mid-September, it's going to bring you a very good news when it comes to some kind of authority. You're gonna get and receive an important, good, powerful news when it comes to the person of authority, and this is going to be brilliant, absolutely fantastic. It's brilliant in so many different ways, because most certainly it's going to kind of also somehow, you know, it's going to bring up something in you, and it's going to make a very strong connection with your childhood. But this is not about the childhood, but it's about a little particular instance, something to do with your childhood that you need to bring in order to understand certain things around you and about you right now. This is very deep, but it's very spiritual, but it's meant to happen like this, because September is going to be so emotionally packed in many different ways indeed. And also very big celebration. Mid-September, it's going to bring you a big celebration, because you're going to come to terms that the certain changes are going to take place, and you're going to like it. And at the same time, conclusion. It's going to come through to an annoying problem that was slowing you and bringing you down, because slowly it came to an end. So the changes were needed. Whole new inspiration is going to come through forward, and there are two brand new choices that you're going to have. Very important. Somebody's going to try to control you at around the mid-September 2020, but then again, somebody slowly kind of also going to show their control, to show their not nastiness, but their negativity. But then again, this is why I said that the black onyx is going to be remarkable at the same time to help you out. But then on another hand, it is just also going to be quite beneficial for you, because it's also going to confirm to you that it's time to move on, just to be assertive towards your new path. Your new path is going to be obvious here already. Sorry, the last part of September is going to bring you, and you know, something, there was like an illusion about something that you're going to realize, okay, I'm going to change this, something that you were working on, something that you wanted to do. It's not going to turn out the way exactly you wanted it to turn out, but then again, this is a blessing at the same time, because that was causing you a little bit of delays and lack of motivation without you even realizing, and now this is going to bring you the whole new inspiration and potential. And not only that, it is going to bring you an important improvement, which is going to help you to make an absolutely remarkable judgment and remarkable decision. But if that didn't happen, that illusion moment, you know, realization, then you wouldn't be able to move away from that. Remember that the teamwork at the end of September, it's super important, my gorgeous Leonis. Teamwork is going to be super important at the end of September. So there will be problem and issue that somebody's gonna come through and forward, but you're gonna have to work together. Maybe these are the family members, or maybe these are people around you, like who you work with, or maybe these are your friends. It depends. When the problems come through, it's important to work together. Just remember this, my gorgeous Leonis. And also very, very important time to remember to look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture. This is very important to remember. On another hand, you know, when it comes to family, when it comes to homecoming time, you're going to feel so happy because things are going to start working out, a great balance. And also an important news, it's going to be concerned, it's going to come through forward, and it's to do with your family, it's to do with a family member. If you haven't got a family, then maybe it's the best friend or somebody around you who is like a family member basically. But a very good news, somebody is going to have an important news, huge news, massive news, somebody is going to have in your family or around you that you are also going to benefit from as well. It's going to mean to you quite a lot. And one more thing, an important option, it's going to blow you away and surprise you at the end of September as well. You will see exactly what I mean. Okay, so now I'm going to shuffle these cards and I'm going to see what is going to happen with those of you in relationship, my gorgeous Leonis, okay? There you go. This is absolutely remarkable. Do you know why? Because it is just all about the actual making an important decision. You as a couple, you know, things are going to start changing here. It looked like you were waiting for this moment in time. It looked like you've been also through quite a lot, but you've also been through lots of uncertainties, and also you as a couple, you've tried this, you've tried that, not in between you two, but in between waiting for the right moment in order to do something really big for both of you. Because now by the time the end of September happens, you are both going to be in for something new, something huge. Maybe you wanted to make a change and your partner wasn't too sure. Maybe your partner wanted to make a change and you weren't too sure, because this is to do with a big change. So this is the time when you're both gonna get together and make a really huge, massive decision. But this is really important because this can only happen to people who love each other, to people who understand each other, and also it's going to lead towards such a huge, massive things. But yes, it's going to lead towards a massive change. Both of you, this is going to lead towards a huge change that you're both going to make. But this is only the beginning. Huge, massive step forward, because you're going to agree with this at the same time. Okay, very, very important for your balance, but can only happen to people who love and understand each other at the same time. And for those of you that are single and ready to mingy, you see, this is like basically, it's a lot to do with the basically just, it's the time to have fun. It's time of reconnection. It's time, you know, with connection as well at the same time. But I just have to say that you have to be very, very careful here, because somebody's going to come through, somebody's going to come forward, and it's not going to be who they say that they are. This is a great time to have fun, the great time to meet people if you possibly can. It depends which part of the world you are. It depends if you're able to go outside. You know, it's all crazy nowadays. You just don't know anymore. It's mental. But I'm just saying that it's very important to make friends, very important to be around people if you can, and very important to do things socially. I have to say, you have to be very careful, you know, because when it comes to friends and relationships, it's great. But when it comes to meeting someone very, very special, you need to be careful, because there is going to be a bit of a little bastard, you know, a bit of a little snaky in a grassy, a bit of a devilish person who's going to come through, who's going to come forward, and they are not going to seem who they are. They're not going to seem what they are. So you have to be very careful. So if somebody's like kind of like, hello, my darling, like flirting with you in September, I'm sorry, but they've got this ability to make themselves look different, and then later on you just realize and you gather something is not quite right about that person, something is not right about this energy, and this is the moment and the sign to literally move on from that person. So I know it sounds weird, but please, if somebody comes through and forward this September, I see something very devilish, and this is all meant to be part of this process and progress. and then when something so heavy appear, then something really beautiful is gonna come up later on. But if somebody does appear like this month, I don't think it's going to be the right person, and I would just say run on miles if you possibly can. Okay, my gorgeous Leonis, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you, Leonis. Bye.